For a country of 1.4 billion with 20% of semiconductor engineers resident in the country, we have zero semiconductor products which are actually owned in India. Ideating on downstream products, the things that we actually use, it makes those design decisions much more difficult to execute when you don't have a homegrown pillar of support. We need vision processing because of the sheer volume of data that we generate as a country. Just think of the number of CCTV cameras looking at the number of people in this country or the number of vehicles in this country. So these are all the real world problems to which the problems we are solving distill down to.
We want to build stuff in our own home, in our own city, working with our own people, exercising the greatest opportunities possible to build for the Indian market. And from the Indian market, we build for the rest of the world.
Energy is so fundamental to civilization. It encompasses everything we do. We are trying to change the way the energy ecosystem of this country and of the whole the planet, as we say. Fusion is actually what the sun really runs on, and all of our energy systems today are basically a derivative of the solar energy. Fusion is all about how much energy we can get out from the energy we can put in. It has been attempted for a very long time, but times have changed, the technology has changed, and we are bringing in something very interesting, especially for an Indian context where it doesn't have to be so expensive.
If you think about the space ecosystem as a whole, you think about SpaceX, you think about ISRO, our Indian Space Research Organization, the first thing that comes to mind is their rockets or their launch vehicles. So this kind of technology has been there since the Cold War, since the 50s or the 60s, where it has been common or become easier and easier for someone to send something to space using these rockets. But along with the ability to send something to space, they also have the ability to bring something back from space. But it's still very difficult for a researcher on the ground or a company on the ground to get access to the unique zero gravity environment of space. So that's where Inbound exists today, to make it much easier for that person on the ground or anybody on Earth who's interested to get access to that long duration zero gravity environment and say, hey, we're bringing this easy low cost access platform for you to access that zero gravity environment and then bring something back from space.
So this is the scale model of the spacecraft that we are building. It is it's a new concept known as lifting body. So it is in between what we have seen as a space shuttle, which is a winged vehicle which can land on a runway, and a capsule, which is a blunt vehicle which usually lands in the ocean. So this is taking the benefits of both these things so that you are able to pack in more volume inside this shape, but also able to land on a runway.
QNULab came out of a deep conviction that the cybersecurity has to fundamentally change. And the reason for that was that even after spending billions of dollars, we have still not been able to solve the cybersecurity problem, right? And we realized that as founders that one of the biggest reasons for a cat and mouse game, right, that cybersecurity is that because we have been using yesterday's technology to solve today's problem. So we said, how do we fundamentally change this? And the answer came in quantum physics, saying that can we use a future technology like quantum physics and bring it in the present and redefine cybersecurity. So QNULabs is the pioneer of this tech in India, among the top 3 or 4 companies globally, who really started working on it a decade ago with this conviction that time has come for cybersecurity to change this paradigm and not look at early detection, faster response type of approach, but more of a proactive immunity for the future.
Venkat and I are very close family friends. So Venkat comes from mathematics and computer science background, and he's been associated with artificial intelligence. I am basically a pharma guy, so I've been associated with drug discovery and development for the last 20 plus years. I thought this was an ideal time for us to look at using AI for drug discovery and solving some of the problems that normally don't get solved by big pharma.
AI is the perfect partner. So instead of everybody trying to do the same mistakes, learning from it, can we learn from collectively all the mistakes that have already been done? What we are currently doing is we are accelerating drug discovery.
If you look at the processor space, you will see there are processors which are just CPUs or central processing unit, or they are GPUs, graphics processing unit, or they are custom processors. So they are all different entities, and most of the time the emerging applications require not just one kind of processor, but you need the capabilities of these various types of processors.
And this led us to develop a reconfigurable architecture which could accelerate very computationally complex workloads in hardware. So to imagine an NVIDIA for AI, similarly imagine an NVIDIA for 5G, for self-driving cars, for any other given vertical. That is what we are setting out to do. That we want to give hardware level acceleration, but allow you to give the flexibility. So tomorrow, whether generative AI comes or some other form of AI comes, we still can actually incorporate it in our hardware without having to change anything up.
Truly, it is just not investment that Speciale has brought into us. They support us, they understand the challenges that we face, and they really want us to grow and make a mark in the world.
When we all met at IIT Madras with 3 graduates from IIT Madras, me, Lokesh and Anurag. Initially, we started building drone swarm technology, which is like large number of drones working together for different use cases. And one of the key technologies that we developed during this whole build was something called RTK, which is real-time kinematic positioning. Because when you have hundreds of drones flying together, you require very precise positioning of those drones. And that is not really off-the-shelf available from GPS, GNSS, any of these systems. And that was the time when it first struck us this idea of Vyomic, where we can have a constellation of low Earth orbit satellites, which can provide very precise and very secure position, navigation and timing services. For critical operations like drone operations, defense operations, maritime, we require secure positioning signals. They should not be jammable, they should not be spoofable. So this is the second problem, wherein current GNSS infrastructure is very easy to jam. You can just plug in $100 equipment in your laptop and 4 kilometers could be jammed very easily. So that's what we are building for Vyomic.
We all know that the future is renewable energy. And with higher renewable energy, we always face this issue of seasonal storage. And long duration energy storage are a solution to these problems where the lithium-ion batteries fall short. At STIR, we develop zinc air batteries which store energy in the form of metallic zinc. So this is our energy, and you can store it for months and years, and whenever you need the energy, you put it, you get the energy out.
We have charging stations separately, which is connected to either wind or solar, and whenever there is excess energy during the season, we use that energy to convert zinc oxide to zinc. Now this zinc is what we store for seasons.
It was more of an impact that if we don't solve it, what's the problem? So we cannot achieve net zero globally. It's not about India. So it's a global market what you look at. And globally, when you're looking at these things, if long duration energy storage is not there, you would not achieve the target the world is promising.
Dasham Labs has been inspired from India's invention of the decimal point system, which in Hindi is called Dasham. It was a very simple innovation, but had transformative impact for mathematics. We want to do the same thing in the field of materials. We want to look at simple innovation in materials which can have transformative impact in the industry in the ongoing sustainability revolution.
Our flagship product, which are flexible silica aerogel sheets, are one of the best in the world for thermal insulations. This is really important because heating and cooling currently constitute about half of the global energy requirements. What we're doing now is doing process improvement or process innovation, which will bring down the cost of this material significantly by 30 to 40%, which will enable industries to make silica aerogel a natural choice of usage.
At Unmanned, we are building drones that can outthink, outmaneuver, and dominate all the adversaries, even in the toughest of environments. For the last few years, all the recent conflicts have proven that the future of defense and security is all about drones. But today, most drones fail to operate in contested environments, especially when electronic countermeasures are deployed.
We are building extremely small drones which could fly at really high speeds and have intelligence in them. The key aspect is the intelligence, wherein the drones have a human-like perception of the world, where they could intelligently take decisions by perceiving the environment around them.
The real differentiator when a user sees the technology that we are bringing to them is the fact that our drones are super smart. One is they're able to see that we are building deeply intelligent drones that can actually autonomously operate in toughest of environment, number one. And on the performance side, we are at least 50% smaller and 40% lighter to do the same job as the technology that they have right now. Speciale is quite different because they bring that deep tech DNA. They understand the challenges of a deep tech startup, the timelines of a deep tech startup, and the requirements or the support that an investor needs to provide for deep tech ecosystem. We've not seen a VC similar to the DNA that they bring.